Wow, Ernie Cockrell, a man of all seasons for sure. Successful in so many areas, and business is just one of the few. From oil and gas companies to Cockrell interests, a myriad of investment vehicles in the healthcare and finance areas, plus banking, ranching, farming, and real estate. His business interests throughout Texas, Colorado, and Wyoming just never seem to stop. He's made a business out of philanthropy also. The Cockrell Foundation is widely admired. Strong interest in museums. The Houston Museum of Natural Science, where I first met him, and of course the Cockrell Butterfly Center, the Cockrell School of Engineering at the University of Texas, the Boy Scouts, and I haven't even covered it all. Ernie was chairman of MD Anderson's board and vice chairman of the Methodist Hospital System, as well as founding chairman of the Methodist Research Institute. Ernie, you're a gigantic winner, and I happily and with honor welcome you to the 2018 class of the Texas Business Hall of Fame.
Ernie Cockrell.
Ernie is a visionary personified. He gets that thought in the distance and he heads towards that vision.
Ernie is extremely humble. He's extremely thoughtful.
The four components of happiness are faith, family, friends, and work. My family is extremely important to me. We're a family business. I like to try to have generational businesses, which are a challenge, but we've been successful at it.
Ernie's interest in family businesses, and particularly oil and gas, began with getting his hands dirty alongside his father at Cockrell Oil Corporation.
I think my career really started when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My dad drugged me out to the oil rigs, and I loved it. I loved the people that worked out there. I loved the smell around the rigs. And so when I graduated from high school, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. So I went to engineering school at the University of Texas, got an engineering degree. In the summers, I worked in the oil field. I started out as a pumper and then working on the rigs, both as a roughneck and a little bit of a driller.
When people ask how Ernie reacts to challenges, I just think of the first challenge that's almost unimaginable, and that is to one day find out at 26 years old that your father's just passed away of a heart attack, and that you now have the responsibility of a family business that's taking major risks in offshore exploration.
It was a little bit of a rude awakening coming in and taking over an oil and gas business at a young age, not knowing entirely what I was doing, but certainly the field experience and the working in the field was invaluable to me. Getting your hands onto the business is important, and understanding what people are doing all the way up from bottom to top.
While his roots were in oil and gas, Ernie's instincts were to keep his focus on where trends in the market should take him. That objectivity led to a more diverse range of investment interests.
The first sale in oil and gas was because we thought we saw, which turned out to be true, a pretty major downturn. So we decided it was time to exit and retool our strategies, and that's what we did.
When it was clear to him that the outlook for traditional energy might change, and as a result of that, thought strategically about how to redirect the family assets from primarily oil and gas into a very diversified investment company.
I think you need to watch for smoke, because generally a little bit of smoke, I found there's a lot of fire behind it.
Ernie has a real sense of timing, but that comes from his deep approach to analyzing and thinking.
I don't think Ernie has ever just done something. He thinks it out and he will go on and do it. And he is fearless when he has decided he's going to do something.
It has been said, there is nothing about self when dealing with Ernie Cockrell. his objective focus and intense listening skills have been key to developing and supporting organizations that make real differences.
The Cockrell Foundation was really seeded with his grandmother's first philanthropic urges in 1950. But what Ernie and his family have done with the Cockrell Foundation has been marvelous. They have really helped grow these very important organizations, from UT and the Cockrell School for Engineering, for Reasoning Minds, which Ernie is passionate about. Really, the interesting one is the Museum of Natural Science, because when Ernie took that on, it was a pretty sleepy place, and he made it into the powerhouse that it is today.
It's a privilege if you get to the point where you can do major philanthropy. It has been an important part of my life. I find it very interesting. I find it challenging. I find it gratifying.
He is a problem solver. He is unflappable and steady. And this measured thoughtfulness that he has and his business acumen are what you want in the trenches with you.
I was thinking about what has catapulted Ernie into this honor, and I realized that it's really a long history of just doing things right. He plans long-term, he operates long-term, he executes long-term.
Work in itself is fulfilling. What work produces as far as discipline, tenacity, if you combine that with loving what you're doing, then you're going to do it well. It's sticking with something until you know the horse is dead, then get off. But as long as that horse is alive and you believe in it, stick with it.
2018 legend, Ernie Cockrell.